Travel booking is new in Payhawk, and the whole topic is very exciting to me specifically, but I'm sure also everyone on this call. And I'm going to give Bobby the floor to take us through it.
Thank you, Teddy. I want to start with the biggest problems that companies managing travel face today. First of all, what we see when speaking to customers and forward-looking companies is that travel policy is often buried in an employee's handbook, a Notion, or a PDF somewhere that no one reads. The approvals are manual. Usually you have separate systems for the booking experience. The payments are disconnected, and someone needs to manually match the invoice to the payment transaction. We actually know the pain of business travel firsthand. So 6 months ago, if I were to go on a conference, I had to log a request in our HR system, contact the travel agency, calculate my allowance based on our policy, and request funds on my card, which was, really frustrating. So how the travel agent changes things is it brings everything into a full end-to-end and compliant flow that is built for finance. And you can see the numbers. So let's take a step back. Let's zoom out for a bit and go through the end-to-end journey you can see on this slide. So essentially, everything starts with the travel policy. The way it works is the agent ingests the policy and rules. It allows me as a traveler to make travel requests. The agent will recommend options based both on company policy and my personal preferences. And the best thing is that as a traveler, I don't have to remember the policy. I have to, literally all I have to do is pick my preferred option. The request will go through the necessary approvals, and then the agent will automatically book the flights and hotels and top up my card. I'll get notified every step of the way, while accountants in our team will get the invoice at the moment of booking. Last but not least, expenses during the trip are automatically grouped into a trip report that accountants can choose how they want to be exported into their external system. Again, ultimately, if you had to remember one thing from all these slides, is that rather than the previous world which is a bit fragmented to say the least, we are bringing all of these into one place, making the process simpler and faster for everyone involved. But in our slides, let's jump into the demo. As you see, we have the cost of requests in Payhawk, and travel is one of them. Of course, there may be different types of travel requests you want to have available to your team. You can create a different type for each one of those right here. For the purposes of the demo, let's configure our general travel requests. You can decide what information you need to collect from travelers beyond the destination and dates. For example, reason for travel. Whatever you require, the engine will collect from the employee before triggering the approval workflow. And of course, the Payhawk policy is also built directly into the travel request. We have a default policy that you can edit. The agent will use this information to sort the list of flight and hotel options and to also flag anything that's outside of policy. We'll see that in just a bit. So how will that work with our workflow? In Payhawk, a business trip is just like any other request. So you can build the approvals however you like. Maybe in policy trips get auto-approved, but anything outside the policy goes to finance, or maybe you want a centralized travel manager that reviews all requests. That's entirely up to you. The key difference compared to other tools is that in Payhawk, a single approval can cover the cost of the flight, hotel, and even things like daily allowances needed for that trip. So that's basically for the configuration itself. Let's see all of that in action for my upcoming London trip. So what I'm going to do here is just tell the agent precisely where and when I'm going, and it would instantly come back with flight options based on the company policy, hopefully. So it acts as a real human agent. So you can see the flight options are presented here. I have all the essential information that I need. So go ahead and choose the British Airways option. As you can see, I know that I have one carry-on included. The baggage is there. The agent will double check if I need to book a hotel, and in that case, I'll need a hotel as well near the Payhawk office. So here are the hotel options. So you can see, actually, I like the last one, but it's outside of the company policy. So I'll probably go for the fourth one. You can pretty much ask the agent anything, but if you're confident, you can just go and choose an option. In that case, I'm going to go with the fourth option. You can ask it even for images of the hotels if you need that. For rooms, this is obviously the next step. You're all used to the experience in booking. You can see we show whether breakfast is included in the room options. Everyone would have a different rate. And for this, I'll just go ahead and choose the first one. I don't really like breakfast of the hotels, but yeah, maybe, yeah, the agent just needs to confirm that. And it would ask me for the reason for a trip. In that case, I'm going to accounting conference. And I also ask for a 250 euro allowance that I use to spend during my trip. So the last thing is just the agent confirming my trip details. The best thing is that I will also get that via email. And at any point, I can ask my agent any information about that. So I'll just go ahead and confirm it. Again, as you can see, you have all the essential information, the cancellation policy, the baggage policy, the terms and conditions, both for the airline and the hotel. And if anything happens, the agent will notify me along the way. So the travel request has been created and submitted for approval. I'll go ahead, direct the request, and let's see how the experience looks like for the approver. In that case, I can see both the flight and accommodation. They're both within policy. I can see all the details that you saw me in making the request. We have the payment method and all the different line items. I have everything essentially that I need to approve this request. So let's go ahead and approve that. So once this is approved, if you remember, again, in the beginning of the presentation, I mentioned that we will automatically be creating the expense report. So here, the flight is already booked. The agent books it because it's approved. The trip report is created. You can see the expense for the respective flight and a generated invoice. This is a Payhawk invoice generated on behalf of British Airways, so that reconciliation is already there. Just a reminder, any expense that I do on this trip will be automatically grouped so that managers in our finance team have the full overview of my spend. And that's it. That's the end-to-end journey. Define your policy and workflow once, let the agent handle the booking within those guardrails. And then, as you just saw, reconciliation basically takes care of itself. It's compliant, it's automated, it's much easier for employees.